You know,
let's get to the revenging, dude. I don't need 45 minutes of character to. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess he's really showing us that price he has to pay and the reason he's coming back to do it. Oh, it's so good, and it's not. But I that's what the attempt was. I get it. I don't want people to think it's over my head. I get it. It's just not that good.
It's just an automatic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. My I don't have to run day. It's just an automatic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just an automatic Monday.
Hi, this is Colonel Death Curse Society. For just as little as $3 a month, you can help feed Zigzag all the pizza for a week. If you want to become a member, check our website at deathcursesociety.com. Then click on the membership tab.
one more thing we got to do. Thanks to our members, our final girls and guys, Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert, our Crazy Ralph's, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn enchilada pod. And of course, no disrespect to our camp counselors. We love them too.
Why you gotta bring up old shit?
No such thing as bottom tier.
That's right. Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Chuck Schick, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ. Colonel, you can at least answer this question.
Sure as okay.
The anticipation and marketing. How anxious were you, obviously, for this film?
Obviously, none, zero, zilch, not at all. I was Zag's amount of anticipation for the Grudge remake that came out, 2020? The last time I can remember a fuck this shit I'm out card being played. I can give two shits and a fuck about this movie. I knew it was going to be terrible. I just knew it. My money could be better spent elsewhere, and the marketing didn't help. I hated this movie without seeing it a little bit each time, every time I seen a new trailer. But it's not The Crow, man. I just can't fucking do it. I couldn't do it. They did a terrible job of selling this movie to apparently 95% of the fan base. So,
yes, they did. I completely agree with that because I think everything they did in the terms of marketing, except maybe the poster. The poster was all right. The trailer tells you everything, gives you at least a bit of all the good stuff. The first look images that they released through like Entertainment Weekly or something like that just opened the floodgates for the hell that we were about to see. And the fans went ape shit, and I loved it. Calling Bill Skarsgård the like SoundCloud rapper and all that, and the Hot Topic Spencer's the couple that met in the Spencer's gifts, shit like that. It was hysterical, and this was the worst way to market a fucking movie. Phase, anything to add on anticipation and marketing?
Oh man, I mean, you know how excited I was for Alien Romulus last week. The fucking complete flip flop this week. Now, I almost texted you guys like, look, is this something I could just skip? And I'm like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just watch it anyway. I watched them back to back. I woke up at around noon, watched the original 1994, and I really liked it. I remember really liking it years ago, but like as a teenager, I loved it because I was, really into that, dark theme type stuff. I didn't think that would translate as much now, but I actually still really enjoyed it in my late 20s.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yeah, fuck this remake though. Let's just.
I think that's going to be said quite a lot tonight. That may be what the audience needs to count. How many times we say "fuck this remake." Ziggy, what about you?
Honestly, I saw the first trailer and I went, "Oh no, oh fuck no," But then I watched it again. I listened to some of the dialogue, right? and I heard a couple of key words that piqued my interest. Like the chapters in the graphic novel are like agony and just pain and shit like that. Right. So I was hearing our baddie in this movie use these words describing the Crow. And I just went, well, okay. Maybe they found a way to connect this to that novel. Now I have to go. And I'm pretty public about that. So I wasn't, I mean, as the more we saw of it, the less hype I was getting, because I was starting to see that it's not what I was getting, what I was hoping to get, so. And it was fully confirmed that it has virtually, by name only, really, to this book. I mean,
yeah,
that's it.
Exactly. There's
marketing is every standard fucking marketing. You've already seen this marketing plan a million times. They show you the whole movie, but they know you're going to come and see it. The Red Band trailer gave you a little bit of the CGI gore, which not enough to save it, but I mean, I guess the last 18 minutes or so, you'll be entertained if you're into that kind of thing. But I don't know, man.
Right.
Anticipation. I was probably the highest of the three of us, but sorely disappointed.
Well, and I think somebody asked this. James O'Barr is a Detroit guy.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So you have a hometown connection in a way to it. So.
If you don't know the whole deal, what inspired The Crow was he had a fiance and everything was great. They're about to be married, and a drunk driver flew onto the curb and killed her.
Well,
without warning.
And she was on the way to pick him up because he didn't have insurance and didn't want to drive, so he called her to come pick him up.
So the blame and the fucking guilt, and he put all of this into this story, and he found a way to lash back at what he couldn't do in real life.
Right.
If you've not seen the graphic novel, it's been reprinted a million times. Get out to your comic shop and get this thing. It's one of the greatest fucking stories on paper. It's pictures. Yes, it's comic book, but it comes off the fucking page, man. And I'll say it again, not seen anything like this in my life. Right. That's this heavy, but I totally get it with the inspiration here. So I'm a little kind of offended that how could you not even get any of that, man? I mean,
Baze, I'll start with you on initial thoughts on The Crow after you saw it.
Oh man, where do I even start? Like,
well, with your initial thoughts, obviously,
right? It's just like there's a lot to unpack. I mean, I don't know, man. If you really just ignore the original content, and I never read the graphic novel, I mean, there are some moments that are okay, but
last 18 minutes.
Even then, if you ignore everything, it's still like a super mediocre, boring film. Like, I don't know, man. But with it being a Crow movie, a Crow remake, reimagining, whatever you want to call it, oh, man. I can't even think of the word to describe it. It's bad, and the fans are, justifiably blowing it up,
I have seen people say it's solid. It's a good watch. It's a good story, and I'm all like,
I wouldn't call it solid.
Where?
Even as a standalone.
Yeah, where'd you see that at?
I was like, what did you watch? Did you? Yeah.
Did you stumble into the wrong movie?
Did you happen to? What is it? A re-showing of the original or something? What the fuck, man? Because I don't get it. I have no clue what you meant by solid movie. I don't see that at all. It's a mess, and I understand that he tried to make it original. I get that, but this does not work like that when you're aware of what the source is. It will never work like that.
Right. Like that's how I was trying to approach this, was just with an open mind, trying to ignore the original. It was hard.
Dude, I tried, but there's no fucking way. I just can't. Especially if you're going to call the movie The Crow, then I can't get the original out of my mind. You know,
let's get to the revenging, dude. I don't need 45 minutes of character to. I mean, okay, yeah, I guess he's really showing us that price he has to pay and the reason he's coming back to do it. Oh, it's so good, and it's not. But I that's what the attempt was. I get it. I don't want people to think it's over my head. I fucking get it. It's just not that good.
no. Act 1, the far-fetched love story. This,
Do we really have to go? We're gonna go through this like that?
a little bit, yes.
All right. I'm gonna
Yes.
be very, very just to the point on this.
Yes. This was the worst love story I think I've ever seen on screen. It came out of nowhere. I don't remember a more unbelievable love story in a movie. So feel free to shoot in the comments and I'll compare, you know, but the little bit of chemistry that I did catch between Bill Skarsgård and FKA Twigs, it fizzled quickly. It did not stay true to me, for me at all, at least. And, you know, the fact that they meet in probably one of the brightest, happiest looking prison style rehab facilities was just even stranger to me. I don't know. Ziggy, thoughts?
Yeah, dude. I don't know how she got this role because I didn't buy her from the word go. I mean, you at least got to get some people to sell this fucking shit, man, and make it. Try to at least make that work before. If you get that, you might get into the story somehow. If you care about the people you're watching, I wasn't getting that with this. Why did she have to be so expanded? I mean, this even in the book, it's a terrible thing. The whole motivation, we know why he's coming back, man.
Mm-hmm.
We already know.
Yeah.
We get it. We didn't need a 45-minute build for this.
But there you
Am I
go,
wrong?
person, man. Come on.
FaZe, will you have 911 just on speed dial
Yeah.
for Zigzag, just in case he pops a blood vessel or something? Because I have a bad feeling here.
I've got just enough.
I'm just saying you might need to like
I
put the
can.
put the cuff on your arm and just monitor yourself for a little bit. 'Cause I'm starting to worry about you, man. I'm really worried about you.
I can
Well,
have his local
keep sending me
PD
to
on speed
fucking-
dial.
Yeah, keep sending me to fucking wonderful fucking productions like this, and I'll be off this planet before you know it.
FaZe, did you believe the love story?
No, I mean I saw that this movie had right around the same runtime as the original, which really surprised me. I was expecting an extra 30 minutes. It was probably like an extra 10.
I think it was 4, wasn't it?
I
Like
don't
an
know.
hour 46. The original was an hour 42.
Yeah, it sounds about right. Like they're basically the same. So I was surprised when I checked my phone. I'm like, we're 40 minutes into this bitch. We're just getting done with the romance bit of this movie.
Yeah.
Like I was starting to think the whole fucking movie was just gonna be the romance. Like
Right.
I was
But
almost happy
to
when
answer
they
your
got
question,
killed.
no.
I was almost happy.
Almost. I mean, I knew they were gonna be because that's what happens, but like, it's.
I didn't even
what a
feel
weird
bad, though.
decision.
Didn't feel bad.
Didn't
You
feel
felt-
bad when they died.
No.
No, not at all. I was confused.
Watch the first one and watch that scene. That's hard. It's a tough one, man.
Well, and the first one, it's a 5-minute scene,
Yes.
and you get everything that you fucking need from that 5-minute scene. So let's do a comparison here. That's what I wanted to do here. Yeah, the love story is established, and the murder of Eric Draven and Shelley occurs in literally the first 5 minutes of 94. And then the love story is continued to be told and touched upon through flashbacks that the Crow has throughout the rest of the film, especially whenever he like interacts with someone who also knew her or saw her or killed her.
Things that actually were in the fucking book that they achieved in the first one.
Oh shit! You know what? Did I not? I thought I put that in here. It didn't upload. Mother fudger. Anyway, we may have to backtrack just slightly for a minute, but yeah, this irritated me much like Rob Zombie's Halloween, because what John Carpenter did in a 8-minute tracking shot for 1978's Halloween, it took 35 minutes for Rob Zombie to tell that story. And that's one of my biggest fucking complaints about Rob Zombie's Halloween, because I didn't think you needed a backstory to Michael Myers. He's just fucking evil. You don't need the white trash, abusive family, bullied at school bullshit. You don't need it. This, much the same way. You didn't need 45 minutes of love story before the action starts. Now I'm getting all worked up. Hold on. Well, yeah, a little elevated. Phase.
I'm warm sitting here. I'm actually generating heat.
Phase, any comparisons to the original that you'd like to make here?
I mean, we're not even quite there yet.
No, I mean, just in Act 1. In Act 1.
Were there any?
No, that's kind of what I mean. Is
I mean, because I just don't know, man.
Yeah,
I was waiting for it to get to that point. The original movie started.
No, this director had to show us how much this woman meant to this man. He had to take us 45 minutes worth to get this fucking thing out that could have been done in maybe 10, maybe 15 minutes even. It could have did the same thing.
But it didn't even work. Because I didn't believe they cared about each other that much anyway.
It did feel like a mismatch. It didn't work.
I want to ask, specifically you, Ziggy, I want to ask about the prologue to Act 1. Again, and this almost felt like, did he rip off Rob Zombie a lot in this movie for some reason? Because there's a white horse. There's a white horse on the ground, like stuck in, that looks like it got caught up in some barbed wire or something. And I think I remember something similar to this in the book, but they include this in this movie, and it's never alluded to again. They could have cut it.
There was a brief flash to it, but other than that, no.
I think they were just trying to shoehorn some stuff from the book into it, and again, a horrible miss. I mean, it doesn't fit the fucking what they're doing. It doesn't fit where they go to next.
Right. Let's talk about Bill Skarsgård as Eric Draven. I was unimpressed with the route they took with this, because when Eric, again, going back to 94, when Brandon Lee's character came back as the Crow, he could fight, He felt the pain from punches, gunshots, cuts, everything. He felt pain, but he was able to absorb it and regenerate.
Project it. Put it back out again.
And project it, yeah.
Yeah.
But he could fight. He taunted his victims as he went after them.
Oh,
he had a great laugh. That character could do all that.
The psychotic stare as he's walking up. Dude, in the graphic novel, he fucking cuts a guy's legs off at the kneecaps, and the guy's going, my feet are cold. He's like, you'll be warm in a minute. Don't worry. He's just talking to him all sweet while the guy's bleeding out all over the place. It's the most sadistic thing I've ever seen, man. But it's so beautiful at the same time.
Right. Now, this Bill, though, as Draven, looked like he was getting bullied in rehab. Was kind of, I mean, even though he's ripped, kind of soft. you know, not really tough at all, and even when he does like start to confront some bad guys, he can't fight very well. He almost gets his ass kicked at the beginning, and I thought this doesn't work. Ziggy?
Yeah, I mean, what more can I say? I mean, it's not. This ain't the Crow your daddy grew up with. You know what I mean? I don't know what else to say. I mean, I guess I appreciate an original take, but it's just not a good one. It's just not good. Nothing about this is good. It's a slap in the face to the fucking material, and I can't get past that. Obviously.
His role just didn't work for me. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you guys are tagging lines from the old one. Try again. Try harder.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Dude, when that one comes up and he gives him the right cross and he just goes, kind of cracks his neck and comes right back and focuses again. Woo!
And he has that grimace on his face.
Yeah, dude. And then it turns into like and then my turn. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that gasoline I smell?
Oh.
No. And that character, the pawn shop guy in the original, has one of the best lines in movie history of all time. So, oh, shit on me.
Yeah.
Dr. Smiley. He says it's hard to blame Skarsgård on this. I think he's a great actor. I think it's more of what he was given. Absolutely. No.
True.
I'm not necessarily blaming it all on Skarsgård, but
Por favor.
the material is weak.
Uno momento.
Go ahead.
This is an interpretation of said material, so he is to blame a bit for that as well. I understand what he was given, but we all know what he was given. This is interpretation as well.
But the director may have said,
Be a sad little bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, then he nailed it. Give him the Oscar.
Ah, fuck.
More like a Razzie.
The only positive fucking reviews, I swear to God, when I looked, and there were like 12 of them. 4-star, 5-star, 4-star, 5-star. Every comment that went with that review was Bill Skarsgård is so fucking hot. That's it. Nothing about the fucking movie. Just he's so fucking hot. Every single one of them I saw. So, and sorry, that doesn't sell it for me.
I want to say he looks like a young Steve-O, and that distracts me every time he's in anything.
I'll never unsee that again.
I can't. Yep.
Doesn't he though? You're
Jesus.
welcome.
He does in the still there, the picture. He really does.
There are a lot.
We'd be like, yeah, dude.
Now I want to find a picture of Steve-O and put the Pennywise makeup on him and see what that looks like.
Shit.
All right, so we kind of already did this, but Bill versus Brandon, no fucking contest. Brandon,
No, we can
all
just
day,
skip.
every day.
Bill says he's a fan of the material. Brendan Lee could quote the fucking thing. So take that for what it's worth.
Well, not anymore.
Well, he could when at the time.
Too soon? Yeah. This is
Just look at that. Just look at that right there.
That's all
That's
you need to
enough.
see.
That is enough.
The hair, dude. What the fuck is going on there?
I actually went out before the show tonight and got into my Halloween gear looking for some grease paint. I was going to paint half my fucking face for this tonight. And I found it. It was dried out. It was all dry. Or you guys, I was going to go off tonight, even more so than this.
Well,
I was going to go unhinged.
you can still honor, the 1994 Crow and Brandon's performance by going and setting Detroit on fire. Just treat it like Devil's Night. That can be your thing.
They don't do it anymore. It's so funny. There's like a bunch of like those angels.
They don't destroy the movie.
Damn!
It's disappointing.
Damn! I wish my town would just go up in flame.
Oh, it used to be a thing though. Devil's Night, and there would be some massive fires in some abandoned building somewhere, like every year. And then all of a sudden, the guardian angel started walking the streets, and it's gone, completely done.
See, that's the problem. There's too many abandoned buildings now. They don't know where to start.
Yeah, right. They're like,
Oh, Jesus! Good God!
leave my city alone.
Yeah, there we go. Patricia says at least Steve-O would set himself on fire, and that would be entertaining. FKA Twigs. Can we just call her Fucka Twigs? That's all I see when I see her name.
Every time I see her name, I'm like, who?
Fucka Twigs is Shelly.
Formerly
Ziggy,
known as Twigs, like
I don't know.
Maybe
What did you think of her performance of
if
Fucka
she
Twigs?
had the same amount of dialogue as the Shelley did in the original, she probably could have pulled it off. I think she was out of her depth here, man. Just they gave her way too much, and it wasn't believable at all. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, didn't Shelley in the original only have like 3 lines? 2 lines?
Yeah, kind of my point.
Okay.
Kind of my point. Yeah. But yeah, man, it's. I didn't buy it. I don't know. We already kind of went over this. Yeah, it didn't have much chemistry to me, and I felt like I got on board with Brendan Lee on the journey. This one, I no way. There's not a chance. You just don't care.
Tarek says, fucking Twigs. That's probably very insulting, and I'm sorry, but it's out there now, and we're going with it.
The innocence of the other Shelley too, and the kindness.
Yeah.
That's all not here. That's not here.
Right. Well, in fact, they end up coming back and saying she did something bad.
Yeah.
Granted, she was influenced.
Okay.
Whatever. We'll get into that here in a little bit, which get your blood pressure medication ready when we get into that conversation.
At this point,
good thing I took it already.
All right. Act 2. Ziggy, get into it. Do the evolution. My idea was to try to use like song titles for all of these, but I abandoned that idea and just went with like basic ones. But
so
I had to stick with Do the Evolution, where they die, and he goes through his. Now this was out of the book a little bit, closer to, wasn't it?
It's almost like a video game of The Crow or something. I mean, because like it seems like every time he gets wasted or hurt or killed, he shows up in this fucking
purgatory kind of thing.
Point. Yeah, and he's got a guy named Kronos, and but you don't really know what he is. I don't know. I don't. That's not really. There's guidance there. It's more words and stuff in the book that he hears and shit. That's the guidance, But this is just, it's different. I mean, it's. I guess if there's an interesting point, if you want to figure out what the fuck's going on and why it's, So if you're gonna care at all, you're gonna watch this part. But I mean, I don't know, dude. I was so annoyed already by this point that I just couldn't wait to get to the killing, dude. So I mean, Faze, what do you think, dude?
I mean, just come on, let's get on with it. Let's get on with the killing. I knew it's like, all right, we're going to be spending another 20 minutes getting on with where the fuck this is going to. So.
Hearing why you get to be the Crow.
Right, hear why and how, and he's probably going to be discovering it gradually. Like, it literally took like an hour and a half for us to get to the point where the original Crow began. It was horrible.
Yeah. Like, I'd say an hour and 15, 20 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
Easily. Yeah.
That's insane.
This whole abandoned train station purgatory that
that was weird.
And it seemed to happen like every time he fell in like a puddle of water or got into some body of water, which was odd. I guess my bathtub is now the portal to purgatory somehow. I do remember the original. I think Rick even just pointed it out. The original Michael Berryman played like this purgatory person, but they ended up cutting all those scenes out for
it was just too morbid to talk about death like that when that's the fucking guy who's dead now. I mean, I get it, but I love Michael Berryman. I think that would have enhanced the movie quite a bit.
Maybe, but
so yeah, the point is, so they did go and get this and kind of revive this element from the other script. But again, I don't think you need this. I don't think you need it because there's a guidance that the Crow has. The Crow itself.
Yeah. Tarek just nailed it. Right here. First rule of the Crow is you do not explain the actual Crow part. One line at best. It brought him back and gives him power because love and shit. We don't need any exposition here.
He's got a full gas tank burning on revenge, and that's all it is, and that's all you need to know.
Yeah, all you need really for that is a banging song from The Cure, and we're good to go. So that explains enough right there. I was excited for one thing in this movie that I thought may have given it some hope. Danny Houston as Vincent Rogue. I like Danny Houston. Excellent. Very intimidating in 30 Days of Night as the head vampire. I thought if he brings a fraction of that energy and intimidation into this role, I'm in. I'm curious to see where it goes. But no. And Ziggy, do you want to explain what makes him such the bad guy in this? As opposed...
Well, this is not in any of it. He's some kind of demon. He's some kind of long-living being that...
And we lost the Colonel.
He wants to sustain his own life, so he has to do these things. He's some kind of some kind of puppet master demon. They don't really say, but it's I'm saying they made this shit up. It's got nothing to do with the fucking source. So I was already like sitting like this the whole time. The rest of the movie. I was like, what is this? Demons, cults, heaven and hell has nothing to do with this.
Well, original Top Dollar was kind of
he dabbled in
the occult,
but he wasn't a demon. He wasn't
no.
Goddamn human that was a drug addict, maniac. That's what he was.
And since we're talking about it, let's Faze, you want to add anything about Danny?
I mean, I do drugs. I dabble in the occult. Does that make me a demon?
Yes, you're now the.
Oh, there we go.
The demon. Yeah,
great.
So why don't you use your demon bullshit to like convince more people to sub to the channel?
Okay.
What the fuck?
Get to work on that, producer.
No.
Let's compare Danny Houston as Rogue to Michael Wincott as Top Dollar in '94. Have fun, Ziggy. Get 911. Get 911 ready.
It's ready.
I mean, you have one of an original, iconic, just fabulous fucking villain. Even though he's not the center focus in the book, it's Tintin. It's all right, though. I like what they did with that. It was an okay change. It was acceptable. I understand this. You had to expand on some things, the little girl, all that and stuff to get that right. But these guys aren't in the same ballpark, the same fucking league. One of them is the majors. One of them is T-ball. So, I mean, I respect him as an actor, but I bet he's regretting taking that fucking role. I'll tell you that much. And just stupid doing this to put it that on the nose, make it that prominently rooted in fucking religion. Is the worst possible thing to do to this franchise.
All right. Michael Wincott is one of the greatest movie villains, if not of all time, absolutely of the fucking 90s. And
that's called a callback.
Right. I fucking have always loved him. And I would even go so far as to say there's a second great movie villain that comes later in the original. Michael Massey plays Fun Boy, and he later on becomes a wonderful villain. I guess more later in the 2000s, but still, and don't even count, you can't even count Tony Todd. So
no, he's just a henchman in the head, and it's
right.
Cool seeing him, of course, but I mean,
right.
Just all the whole cast of the gang, of Tintin's gang in the original is pretty fucking close to how I would have cast it if I had the resources and options to do it. The guys they got were absolutely colorful and stood out just like they should, and they do in that book.
There we go. Let's talk about that. Gang War, 94 versus 24.
You're kidding, right?
No. That's good, isn't it? Ziggy likes it.
It is good.
I'm not going anywhere with that, dude. Fuck that.
But
You asshole.
and somebody else, somebody made these comments earlier. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. Luke says, at least in 94, the bad guys were entertaining and had personalities. These bad guys were like Broadway millionaire snobs that were lifeless. This movie took itself way too seriously than it needed to be.
You see that? They did a stylized version, over the top, but it called for over the top in that 94 one because each guy did that, with Tintin being the, he's fucking bong hitting an eyeball, dude. That's as sick as it gets. That's fucking crazy. I love it. So he was fucking so good as the boss in this.
Well, they gave that to Top Dollar, though, Wincut. Not Tintin.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I
In
mean,
the movie,
the guy that he's the one that smoked the eyeball and shit. You know
Right,
what I mean?
right.
Yeah. The guy with the knives was
Tintin.
Tintin. But see, in the book it switches around a little bit. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just the guys have different roles and different things happen to them. In the movie, the same kind of kills happen, but sometimes it's different guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and like Rick, wasn't it Rick that just said that? I can't remember. Like somebody said, the characters or the gang in 94 had personality, and you got to kind of know their scuzziness and their dark side.
But, dude, and they just looked fucking dirty.
Yeah.
Like,
Fire it up. Fire it up.
fire
Just
it up.
swallowing the bullets and everything, and doing the weird shit with those. You got David Patrick Kelly
Yes.
as Thunder T-Bird, which
Oh,
was
when
great.
he comes
There's another.
walking in and with the fucking, so you got a complaint to the management, eh? In the hotel when they're fucking him up.
Mhm.
Dude, that's hardcore.
Dude, talk about another great villain, I just still wish he had 3 bottles.
Oh, dude.
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
Every
he's the
fucking
king.
movie.
He's the king of stylized villains, dude. I mean, like the Warriors. I mean, he's kind of a good guy, bad guy in Trading Places.
Yeah.
And then like he gets in like Dreamscape. He's the Snake Man and the protagonist, the villain.
the new gang were suit wearing. They were almost like Secret Service kind of roles.
I don't like this wish Illuminati shit that they've been trying to push on the last couple of movies where this is called for, this a secret society kind of thing. This is the most ham-fisted version of this I've seen in years. So, I mean, it's not believable at all with these guys. You know they're going to get it. And I'm hoping for the greatest ways to be killed here, and that's it. Let's get them all. Get them out of the way. Let's get to it.
Well, we actually finally get to that.
Yes. 18 minutes to go.
I'll say this: Act 1, way too fucking long. Act 2, equally about as long.
Too much.
Maybe 10 minutes less. So we're an hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes into the movie by now, and then Act 3 is still about the right length, but so little bit of a movie, 20, 25 minutes, we get to the operatic climax. And Ziggy, go. I know it. I just want to unleash the Kraken.
Release the hound.
This is at least the part you've been waiting for.
Yeah, I know that. Go ahead. Just
and
start
the
it
kill-
up. I want to
Okay.
collect my thoughts here. So just
Okay.
carry us through it. Go ahead and set it up.
Well, he finds I think her name is Monica, one of the head henchmen
Yeah,
of
she's like the sub boss.
yeah. You're still talking about it like it's kind of a video game. But so we got a sub boss battle before we get to the big boss, and
Right.
which takes place in an opera house, and security's all over the place. Here comes finally badass Bill Skarsgård, Eric Draven, with a katana, and just basically John Wick style kills a bunch of people. Now,
Kill Bill.
this is the one scene. Yes, Kill Bill's a good example. I was going to say John Wick. You
Yeah.
know, this is the one scene that is worth a damn out of this entire movie, and it's not terrible, but the CGI is very noticeable and very distracting. And look at the disappointment on Ziggy's face right now. Would you like to jump in?
Okay, yes. They gave us a red band trailer where he takes a shotgun blast by one of the baddies, and then gets up out of the bathtub and turns it on the guy and blows his whole fucking torso off. I didn't remember seeing that again in the actual cut. Did they not have that in there?
Probably got cut.
Motherfuckers, man. See, I can't just get away from this without getting even more pissed. You know, but I mean, yeah, the CGI, but I didn't care. I expected they were going to be rushing it by now. They're fucking running out of time. And I think they knew it.
Mhm.
So we had to get this rushed ending. So the sub boss is taken out almost immediately once he catches up. And it's so anticlimactic, dude. It's so just like, really? Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, all that, you caused all that hype and that's it? You went down like that quick? Wow, what a resistance. Good boss. You'd be fired if you fucking lived.
But then he takes a couple of their heads out onto the stage, which I thought was a good bit, and then tosses them out into the audience as they're all running out of the theater.
This was an attempt to try to show that the cruelty spawned from his revenge. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it connected. I don't think it connected like that. You know? Yes. Conan the Barbarian, man, when he fucking tosses that head down the fucking Aztec fucking pyramid.
That was
Yes.
100%.
It's right there, man. They went for that. Not as cool, but I'll give them a tip of the hat for the beheadings. That's it.
That was the one scene, I think but it wasn't enough.
But when when it's over, you're like, that's it? That's it. That's it. That's it?
Yeah. FaZe, anything to add?
No, it was just, you put it really well, man. It's that's it. It really leaves you feeling that way. Like, there are a couple of good moments. I kind of appreciated that moment where he took the machete and kind of Pac-Man somebody through the mouth, kind of opened him up wide.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know.
Oh, phony as shit, though. That,
it was bogus, but
maybe that's the one effect that maybe you go ahead and do the prosthetic on and everything, shoot it in reverse. You know what I mean? Make it look good.
Cool.
Right.
Add
There were a couple of leg severings and arm severings that were.
Yeah,
neat,
but we saw better shit in fucking Deadpool and Wolverine 3 weeks ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, and I'll say this. One of my least favorite, camera tricks that you can do, special effects, is when you have blood on the camera lens.
Yeah.
I hate that shit. Every fucking time that happens, that just instantly takes me out of the movie. Because for my dumbass, I'm thinking, shit, now somebody's got to come along and clean that before we do another shot. Cronus does give Eric Draven the option, because he does start to lose a little love for her. And to gain that love back, or to prove that he has that love back, he offers to take her place in hell so she can be revived and come back to life. That's why it had to happen right after, instead of waiting a year like the original. I think.
So much more fucking impact a year later.
Iceman says, wait, there's a twist?
Even Derek's like,
Not a good one.
wait, what? I want to know the twist.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a twist per se, except that, they made fucking the whole point of his existence part of the enemy. And you know what I mean? And she's got to pay the price for that. And it's fucking stupid, man.
Tarek is pissed off. She does not fucking live.
Oh, you didn't want a happy ending? You didn't want a happy ending in your Crow movie? You didn't want a happy ending in a Crow movie?
Take your medication.
You're getting too old to be doing that, man. Settle down.
Compared to 94's epic battle scene, Brandon Lee versus Michael Wincott, top of a fucking church, taking out, having Ernie Hudson come along and help you out a little bit. The actual Crow gets hurt, almost killed. So Brandon Lee's Eric Draven loses his powers a little bit. He's not as indestructible anymore. Ernie gets shot. Battle on the top of the church. Beautiful. Raining. Rochelle Davis as Sarah getting slid down to the bottom, hanging on for dear life while they fight. Fucking amazing.
I like
this
to the fight, though. The lead up to the fight when he's like, here's my impersonation of the Crow. Caw, caw. Oh, fuck, I'm dead.
Bang, I'm fucking dead. Because Michael Wincott is a wonderful fucking actor. All right. Well, we kind of talked a little bit about it, and there's not a whole lot to talk about, but special effects, I would say 95% CGI. And I read somewhere where they didn't even have physical guns in their hands. They CGI'd guns.
Well, they were in Prague or something, so...
Shit, well, after fucking Baldwin, man, you blame him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
They added muzzle flashers and smoke to it. That's all they did. They put little things on the edges so nothing's shooting out.
Right.
Well, can you blame them, though? I mean, what the fuck? Their last movie was almost completely shelled because of that shit. So,
but still, CGI guns?
Yeah.
That's better than CGI walkie-talkies.
Like in E.T.?
Yes.
God damn it.
That's offensive, too. Go ahead, Faves.
Just wanted to point out real quick, I only have one thing to mention about that. Very early in the movie, right after they break out of the rehab facility and they're in that like vacation home. I don't know if Ziggy noticed this, but he's smoking a joint. And there's a little bit of the joint left. It cuts to her. It cuts back to him. The joint's long.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah.
They fucked up the fucking joint length. And the direct, like, come on, man. Like, there's no attention to detail like that.
Yeah, I think I did the Leonardo DiCaprio. That happened, so.
I will say this to close out the special effects thing. The ideas for some of the kills and some of the effects were cool. But like you said, I do them practical and you've got my attention.
Hey.
That knife or that blade through the jaw thing where the jaw like drops. I think Faze mentioned it a minute ago.
Batman thing.
Where the jaw drops pretty distinctly. Let me see Damien Leone and the Terrifier guys, the Fuzz on the Lens guys do that bit practical.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fantastic. Anyway.
Hey, I think technically the movie looked pretty good. I mean, from professional, how it was shot and everything, looked pretty polished, looked all right.
You want to talk about that? Because I think the
only good thing I could say.
I disagree. I think I disagree. I mean, it looked basic. It looked very, very fucking basic. 94 was kind of groundbreaking in the way they set that movie up and made that movie, in my opinion. There were some things stylistically in 94 that I really hadn't seen.
What, like Rain?
No, I mean just the way, like the way, some of the way the camera moved and shit.
No, it was very.
They go up through the buildings and stuff. Yeah, I mean that was before fucking drones.
Even like when he's like running across the rooftops.
Yeah.
The camera angle from above and all.
That
impressive shit.
But yeah, this one, it was okay. That's all I can say about it. Yeah, I wasn't impressed with the cinematography.
Fucking something, something to be okay about. I was like, well, I guess the movie crew did their job at least, but I mean, I appreciated some of the shots and everything, but
well, and I'll say this: there was one shot and it's in the trailer, but there was only like one shot that kind of gave me that old school Crow feel.
In the hallway.
It's not in the hallway, but like between the buildings or an alley or something, with the light at the end, the Crow up next to him, flying with him. and I think he's got the jacket on that's kind of like waving in the background as he's walking away. That's the one shot in the entire movie that I was just like, there he is. Oh, and it's over. It's gone. And that was it. So we're kind of already in it, but writing and direction. This was, I cannot believe this fucking script got greenlit. I fucking cannot believe it.
And then some guy punched it up like a 1-page punch up to get it greenlit.
Ugh.
This, dude, I can't remember who it was, but somebody else that was reviewing it said this isn't a love movie, this is a lust movie, because they fell in love way too quick, and it made zero sense. It's like a 10th grader's or a 9th grader's definition of love.
Hey,
They spent 45 minutes on it, and
it doesn't work.
Rushed.
Right.
Read it in the script, and they delivered what that interpretation was.
Jesus, but there's so
fail.
I don't see how any studio would have looked at this and been like, this is the best we can do.
I'm surprised of Lionsgate with this one. Like, they're not great, but like, fuck, this is bad. This is really bad.
Well, I think Lionsgate jumped in late. I think somebody, another production team, pretty much did most of this, and Lionsgate, I think, picked it up for like North American rights.
Say when.
When?
And we'll get to that.
When?
Okay.
Yeah,
what? Oh, you want to talk? Oh, you want to talk about the rights?
Oh, and how this all went down and why this is taking so long to talk about.
Jump in.
Yeah, here we go. Listen to this, man. And this is how you should know why this is a perpetual black hole of failure from here on out.
Started back in like 2008, right?
2008, development started on this project. Stephen Norrington, writing and directing, promised a realistic, hard-edged, mysterious, almost documentary style. He bailed after a rights acquisition nightmare. April of 2011, Juan Carlos Fresnadeo was chosen to direct this remake with Bradley Cooper starring as Eric Draven. Before April's end, the project stalled due to failed rights negotiations. Cooper dropped out. Mark Wahlberg was up to take the role. And then by October, Fresnadillo dropped out too. In 2012, January, F. Javier Gutierrez signed to direct. His intention, a page-for-page adaptation of the book. Failed. 2013, Tom Hiddleston in talks briefly. Then Alexander Skarsgård in talks. Then several more versions came and went. Luke Evans, Norman Reedus, Kristen Stewart, Jack Houston, who's his grandfather was in this one. What?
Time out. Did you just say Kristen Stewart?
Kristen Stewart was in in talks for Shelley.
Oh, okay.
What about Norman Reedus?
Oh no, but I think they were going to take that role, dude, with her as the Crow. That's why she's in with that.
Oh my god.
Oh god, dude. You want to get pissed? Hold on. Yeah, Norman Reedus is going to be Eric Draven. Let's see. Jason Momoa was one of the latest ones in role for this.
I remember that because remember the memes going around with him in the makeup that was cracking everybody up?
Oh, and then when the Harvey Weinstein and Bob Weinstein were involved, they were like, absolutely not. And they both left, the director, and said it broke their hearts to leave it. He said they thought they had something good. And then by March of 2022, this is what they started to develop, and this is what we ended up getting. So all these years.
But we also lost one of the Weinsteins is in jail.
Yes.
And two of the main producers, Pressman and somebody else, have died in the last 5 years. So
Shit.
I'm wondering if the sons or whoever has the estate now, if they were just like, yeah, make it, just give us some fucking money and we're good to go. That's kind of what it felt like, because I know Edward Pressman, before he passed away, was against 90% of what you just laid out. He was one of those that was just like, yeah, none of these ideas are very good. We're not going to tarnish the Crow name again, like with any of this. But then as soon as a couple of them pass away and people that don't give a shit have the rights, here we go.
I think another thing that really bugged me about this whole thing was it doesn't have that ominous Halloween connection. You know what I mean? I mean, anything evil like this could happen on Halloween. It feels like the perfect night for something like this to happen, especially a year later, even on Halloween.
Well, so you got to think the Halloween night. You know, go back in traditions, the night where the veil's easier for the living or the dead to pass to the world of the living. So it makes perfect sense for Halloween night.
Oh, there's a good question. BK says, was he even a musician in this one? There's one. He's a writer. He writes poetry or songs. We never really necessarily get to see it. They're just
fucking Christ.
There's poems and like notes hanging on his wall when she comes in.
He plays the piano briefly.
He's an artist. He's some kind of an artist.
No, see, Eric fucking Draven is a fucking rock star, not Bill Skarsgård playing a Casio fucking keyboard in his fucking corner.
Yeah.
No.
Stupid.
No.
Even though Brendan Lee hated those guitar scenes in The Crow, because that never happens in the book.
No, but
in the movie, there's those really cool, like, band shots you'd see. If you go to a bar and the band was touring there, they'd be like, hey, you know.
Yeah, put their headshot up there, basically.
Yeah, there's this band, whatever they were called. And that
Hangman's Joke.
Hangman's Joke. That's it.
But it's also fitting in the original, I thought, for him to just chill and play the guitar. He's back from the dead for one fucking day. Crank out some fucking tunes, you know?
Yeah.
Shit, he was a true musician.
All right.
Sanders. Hey, Rupert Sanders.
Smell my ass.
You can look for a reason to use that all night.
Hey, perfect.
Here we go, folks. Final thoughts and score. Face.
You started with me last time. Come on now.
Come on now.
All right. So, I walked out of the theater pretty much exactly how I thought it would. Just not happy. I wasn't as pissed as most people have been, but I'm also not as big of a fan of The Crow as most people are, I guess. I really enjoyed the original. I don't worship it like some people seem to, but, it's neither here nor there. It was massively disappointing and wasted so much fucking time in that first act. You could cut the whole first act and it'd still have something of a movie, but fuck, man. Guess I'll.
Who's tapping on their desk?
There's so little good to say about this. I'm just gonna say a 4. I'm gonna give it a 4.
4.
Yep.
I'm gonna go and then I'll give it to Ziggy. Faye said it. Too long of a first act. Did not need to go into explaining the love story. Did not need the wussified Eric Draven as played by Bill Skarsgård. Did not need as much screen time as they gave to Fucka Twigs. I did not like her at all. Poorly written, poorly directed, adequately filmed and shot. Terrible. We didn't even talk about the soundtrack, but there's only one thing I can say about the soundtrack, and I think everybody would agree. This one, shit. The 94, top notch. There's no way you can even really compare the fucking two, because 94's. I hate using this term, but somebody used it the other night. The 94 soundtrack slaps. God, I feel dirty just saying that. Anyway, it rocked. It fucking rocked. This one, I'm saying 3. This is probably, it's way down on my list for the year. It's in the bottom 5 right now, I'm pretty sure. So, 3 for me. Ziggy.
Fuck you!
2. And yeah, man. There's nothing left to say.
Beautiful.
I'm past my anger now. I'm letting it go. But I mean, anybody that's a fan of the graphic novel and, to the most point, a fan of the 1994 original take on this, you can't seriously look me in the face and tell me this was good, man. I can't take you seriously.
Thanks as always for watching, gang. One more time, I want to thank our members, our final girls and guys, Christy, C-Phase, Lorena, BD, Alex, and Robert, our Crazy Ralphs, Bell's Fancy Creations, Dr. Smiley, Raymond, and the whole damn Enchilada Pod. And, of course, our camp counselors, Adam, Corey, Christy, Luke, Jimmy and Rachel, Stacy, Lynn, Orlando, Chuck, Schick, Patricia, Kristen, and JJ.